All right, this video is on domain and range. So looking at x values over here, that would be domain. So domain is a function or relation that's a set of all x values. So that means the range is going to be the set of all possible output values, or those are known as the y values. So here's an example of a relation, just a set of ordered pairs. If I were to write the domain, they're written in these little squiggly brackets, and then they list out the numbers 1, 4, and 6 in that x position. Same for range, squiggly bracket with a -1 was written first, and a 7, and then a 3. Those can be in any order you want to. The important thing to note is if a number repeats, you don't need to write it 3 times. So for example, 4, 4, and 4 were all the y values, so I only need to write 4 once. So if a number repeats, do not write it more than once. So, state the domain, range, and tell whether each relation is a function. So these are maps that we saw in the last lesson. My x values are my domain. So what you can do is write domain, do your squiggly brackets, and then 2, 3, and 4 were all in the domain. Your range is going to be your y values, squiggly bracket with a 7, a -3, and an 8. Okay? So now to see if it's a function, I need to make sure this x value only has one arrow coming from it. So only one arrow, only one arrow, only one arrow. So that means x's do not repeat, so it is a function. Okay? Why don't you try the 2 maps on your own? And so press pause right now, and then we'll jump back into that in a second. All right, for the domain of this one, you should have gotten -2, 3, and a 5, -5. For the range, you should have just written one number of 4. And whether it was a function, yes, that is a function. My x's did not repeat. All right, and for the last one, you should have had, for the domain, just a 1 and a 2. And for the range, you should have had 5, 8, and 9. And this is not a function. The reason it's not a function is that 1 repeated, so 1 went to 5, and 1 went to a 9. So that is a no-no, okay? All right, let's turn it over on the back. State the domain and range and tell whether each relation is a function. Yes, you're going to have to write out all the numbers of the domain. So in this example, my domain squiggly bracket would be -3, -1, 0. I don't need to write that -1 again. And then a +3. For the range, it would be 4, 5, 8, 9, and 11. And since those -1s repeated, it is not a function. So why don't you try the rest of those tables on your own and press pause and let me know if you need any help. For the domain, you should have gotten 1, 2, 5, 3, and 4. For the range, you should have gotten 3, 4, -5, 9, and 7. And that is a function because my x values did not repeat. On the last one, your domain was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For your range, 2, 3. Okay, and then that is a function because none of my x values repeated. Okay? All right, domain and range from a graph now. All right, so I know domain are the x values, so what I'm going to do is see where that number hits on this x-axis right here. Okay, so for this first point, that x value was a 0. So I'm going to start with 0 in my domain. This other point, if I drop that down, its x value was also 0, so I don't have to write that again. And then this point, its x value was a 3. Okay, so my domain was a 0 and a 3. For the range, what you're going to do is see what number on this y-axis it hits. So that point hit at a 1. So I'm going to start at a 1. This point hit on a 2. And then this point also hit on a 2. So I'm just going to stop that with my range is 1 and a 2. Okay, if that's confusing to you, you're more than welcome to write down the ordered pair. So for example, this ordered pair is 3, 2. This ordered pair is 0, 2. And this ordered pair is 0, 1. And if you want to get the domain and range from those points, you can as well. As far as if this is a function, it is not a function because right here I hit 2 points vertically, so not a function. Okay, so now why don't you try this graph over here on your own, press pause, and then I'll tell you the answer. All right, for domain, you just see where it hits the x-axis. So it hit at a -5. That was a 1. And then this one went to a 4. And for the domain, I'm going to see where it hit the y-axis. So for range, I started with a 4, a 1, and then a -2. Okay. Another way you could have done that is to look at its ordered pair. This ordered pair was -5, 4. This ordered pair was a 4, 1. And this ordered pair was a 1, -2. You could have gotten the domain and range from that. This would be a function because my x values did not repeat. You could say it passed the vertical line test. Okay, so that is domain and range. So you are more than welcome to watch the next video, or if you want to get on AGSA right now and try Q2 and master that, you can. If you're ready for the next video, go ahead and get back on Canvas and watch the next evaluating functions video. Thank you.